Amongst the most difficult assignments in television news journalism can be covering an earthquake. How do you cover human grief, human suffering? Where does the camera back off? To what extent does the camera intrude into the privacy of an individual and his or her grief? These are questions that one has wrestled with for years. I must confess that I'm pretty hopeless at covering tragedies caused by natural disasters. I remember covering Gujarat and the Kutch earthquake in 2001. And there was this family that had just lost its young children. And I just didn't know what to ask them. I just stared at them blankly for a little while, even as the camera kept rolling. It was a very, very difficult moment. I also remember being with a family in Ahmedabad. The building had collapsed. The couple had been rescued, but their children were still under the debris. 24 hours later, the boy was pulled out by the rescue team, and guess what? He was alive. To my mind, that was one of the best moments that I've had in a long time of covering any kind of human tragedy. Just to see the face of the parents and the child as they hugged each other and wept inconsolably. It was a special moment. But those are all too rare. For the most part, when you cover an earthquake, you're surrounded by death and destruction. And it becomes extremely difficult to actually be able to do it without being accused of being insensitive. Let me also put it in perspective. In 1993, I covered the Latur earthquake. More than 10,000 people died. A village of Killari was entirely flattened. It was the days before television or private news television and OB vans and satellite images. I was in the Times of India. We reached there 24, 48 hours later, and by the time we got to Killari, we had no way to communicate to our headquarters in Mumbai. We had to drive back all the way to Aurangabad, and there over a crackling phone line and then over a telex message which was breaking down constantly, we were able to file the story. But it really took more than a week before we could convey the gravity of the situation to the world at large. Contrast that with what happens now. Within minutes of the Nepal earthquake, you have visuals of the death and destruction, and in a sense, this carpet-to-carpet, wall-to-wall carpet coverage creates an environment in which people get galvanized to contribute to the relief operations, and the entire system, the disaster management system, is put in fast-forward mode. To that extent, television does have its uses. I know a lot of you think television is tamasha, but there can be times, particularly during a human tragedy like an earthquake, where the television camera can play a positive role in accelerating the rescue efforts. So compared to 1993, maybe 2015 is a better time. But if you ask me, covering a quake, as I said, is a difficult task. And it requires people who really have a great skill. Maybe I don't have that. Maybe that's my limitation. That's it on this particular video blog. Do send in your feedback to rajdeepsardesai.net.